Hello from Des Moines! My sister and I are taking a little road trip through Iowa today, and we are stopping at some places that are, dare I say, quirky. We just stopped for lunch at a place called Zombie Burger, and you'll see in a minute, but the whole place is like horror themed, and I think they have these massive burgers and crazy shakes, and they're all named after different horror movie type kind of things. Yeah, let's go eat. Okay, I think some of my favorite ones on this menu are the Undead Elvis with peanut butter and fried bananas on your burger, the Poultrygeist chicken sandwich, and the human centipede shake. Okay, the shakes came out first. I got the chocolate cake one. It has a cake mix in it. And my sister got the cake and cookies, so it has Oreo and both white and chocolate cake mix in it. Let's see who ordered right. Okay, the food came out super fast, but I got the La Horde, which has goat cheese and bacon and caramelized onion. And by the way, you can get like triple patties on here. I just got the single. That was super good. I only eat meat like very rarely, so that was like my burger for the year. And can I tell you guys something? I got a second shake. I wanted to try 2 flavors, so I was like, just get one to go. This is the Reese's Pieces one. We're leaving Des Moines now, and we're heading to a cemetery that's near a small town named Avery. Check it out. Did you know that Iowa has its own pyramids? So as you can see, we're at the cemetery. We headed down this long, dusty road over this kind of rickety bridge, and now we're out really kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's really peaceful Iowan cemetery. It does look like there's plenty of older graves here. Might have to take a look. I wonder how old. Let's see, how old is this one? 1877 it looks like. Wow. But anyway, let's head to the main event here. So these pyramids are intended to be replications of the Great Pyramids at Giza, but no one is actually buried in them. They were built in 1939 by a local man named Axel Peterson. He and his friend were huge fans of Egyptology. I guess they read tons of books and they just loved it. And the idea was the 2 of them would be buried here. So Axel Peterson actually wanted to be buried sitting in upright position facing the friend's grave. So maybe like in these 2, they'd be buried in those 2. But it's actually really sad because neither one of them, like I said, is buried here. I don't know if it was because it wasn't specifically written in his will or it was just disregarded, his final wishes, but he and his friend are buried at completely different cemeteries. So they're actually not even that close, let alone in these awesome pyramids they built. So now they're just kind of abandoned on the edge of this graveyard here. But I'd still like to think of this as being, you know, like their spiritual resting place, even if their physical bodies aren't here. Looks like they're weathering a bit, but there's a nice bench down here. Oh, cool. Check it out. Oh, it's actually open. Can you go in here? Wow, real classy, Haley and Amanda. Whoa. It actually feels like an Egyptian tomb down here. There's like this piece of ivy perfectly hanging down. Not so much the White Claw cans, but we need like a flaming torch. The camera's really lighting it up, but it's actually pretty dark in there. So there is, I guess, a first-hand look at the burial chamber. I'm assuming that's where he was going to be entombed, in that chamber. You can tell they're kind of starting to show some age, though. Yeah, it looks like someone has kind of been patching them a little bit. That's why it's white, you know, around here. So I mean, that's nice at least. I don't know if you can tell in the camera. This tallest one here is about 14 feet, I'd say. It's pretty big. There's a whole section around here. It's kind of fallen in. You can see the stonework underneath. Yeah, I mean, you know, these aren't ancient Egyptian times, but these are still like 100 years old now by this point, almost, so. Yeah, I know, time flies, right? They look pretty good. Just a couple seams on these two. On the other side here is a cow pasture from the sounds of it. Can we see anyone? I've been hearing them mooing. Oh, there's a cow down in the shade earlier. He move?
Yeah, he was like just underneath that tree, but we're far into it.
Maybe he could tell we just ate some burgers and he moved on. Thought that was for the best. Whew, it is hot out here. It's like 95 degrees or something. Yeah, let's take a look at some of these other graves. It does look like there's some really old ones out here. I feel like overall this was just a really cool place. I don't know how to describe it really. It's just like you're out in the middle of a cornfield in Iowa and all of a sudden you come across this kind of quiet, beautiful cemetery, and these gigantic pyramids mysteriously loom on the edge. I don't know, sometimes I'm like, should I really spend an extra like hour or two out of my way to go visit this weird place? And yes, I totally think it's worth it. I mean, your mileage will vary, of course, but I don't know, there's just such a cool feel to weird places like this. Okay, we're headed to one more spot on our little Iowa adventure. We're going to the American Gothic house. It's that super famous painting by Grant Wood. Even if you don't recognize the title of it, you've definitely seen it before. It's like those two surly looking stoic farmers standing in front of that white house. Well, that house is actually a real house in Eldon, Iowa that the painter used as their model when they were drawing it up. It's called American Gothic because that house has this Gothic window in the upper story. So that's where we're gonna check it out. They've actually turned it into a museum now. It got donated to the state at a certain point, and I think we have about a half hour before it closes, but we're gonna make use of that photo op, I can tell you. Oh, they got like the two farmers up front. That's awesome. Alright, there it is. Do you recognize it without the sad farmers in front? And speaking of sad farmers, here they are. Indiana, Utah, wow. Missouri. Like a whole page of Iowa.
Yeah.
Oh, Georgia. They have this awesome board full of pictures. I really like this lady with the wind flying all over. Yeah, it was one of those days. Guy with his horse. It's awesome.
Look at the puppies.
Yeah, it's cute. There's some puppets. Yeah! Check out the Klingons! Captain Kirk's future birthplace is also in Iowa. We're gonna go there tomorrow. So I wonder if that's what this is referencing. Took a quick look in the museum. They do normally have, you know, the outfits that they're wearing and a pitchfork that you can borrow for your photos, but because of COVID, they are not lending those out at this time, unfortunately. Alright, so one of the signs tells you exactly where you need to stand to take the perfect photo. Let's try it out here. We're supposed to stand on this middle beam. So these are the models for the painting, if you ever wondered. This is the artist's sister and his dentist. And it says they never posed together in front of the house or even met until they posed for this photograph 12 years later. Oh, so I just read on the sign that apparently it's supposed to be like a father and a daughter. I always thought it was just a couple.
I don't think
I don't know. Oh, interesting. Okay, we'll have to go look at the back before we leave. The sign says that the front is a mirror image of the back, so there's actually a Gothic window on the back side too. How cute. The owner of the house at the time saw that an artist was sketching her house, so she called her daughter to come over and clean the whole house inside and out. It says they sat on the porch and waited, but Wood never came back. He had already taken all the sketches he needed. There's just still houses over there on that side.
Yeah, can you imagine living right next to them?
Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy. I know they have redone the inside though. I don't know if it's open right now. Let's go see. Because someone was living here up until I believe like the 90s. And now they've totally restored it. Let's see. Oh, fun! They do a little something called Porch Fest. So they must have these bands just out here playing on the porch. Okay, let's head around the back before we go. Give you a 360 of this place. Oh, well, we couldn't go in the door, but maybe we can look in the windows? Oh, never mind, there's curtains. Ooh, there's a little sunroom on the back. I wouldn't have expected that. A little clothesline even. Alright, so now you know what the back of that house looks like. This is really cute. I would totally live here. This is a nice house.
Yeah.
And just to complete, I'll go around this side. So the signs were also saying that those windows, those Gothic windows, were most likely ordered out of a Sears catalog. You know how you could order entire homes out of a Sears catalog? Well, that's where these unique windows came from. Now famous the world over. I wonder how many people actually take the time to come around and look at the back side of this, because as long as we've been here, there's been a lot of people coming through and no one walked around the side of it, so it sort of feels like the dark side of the moon now, right? Now you know what the back looks like. Alright, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of these interesting places. I really enjoyed seeing this American Gothic house because I was curious to know if people knew about this internationally as well. Obviously it's a very famous American painting, but when I was talking with the lady when I was looking through the guest book, she said that yeah, they get lots of international visitors as well, because it is the second most parodied painting in the world, second to the Mona Lisa. And yeah, apparently people do know about it internationally, so that was, I mean, good. It's a cool painting, and it came from right here in Eldon, Iowa. Very interesting. So I hope you enjoyed it as well as the pyramids and the zombie burgers. I still have a little bit more shake in the car, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.